Mine was very sloppy, so I got myself a wet nap to clean up afterwards.
Wet nap.
Nothing like a good wet nap.
It's a very short, wet dream.
Wet nap, right, exactly. They're very few and far between, but when they happen,
Oh, yeah.
They found these down in his waffles, maple syrup dripping from his fake roll. Who did he see when he heard who was there? Now it seems that he should.
All right, everybody, welcome out to the Log Room Guys Craft Beer Show. It is Tuesday, July 27th, 2021. Jersey Johnny coming at you. With me, as always, is none other than Mr. Beer Samurai. Say hello, Mr. Samurai.
Hey, guys. Happy New Jersey Day. In honor, I am eating some Jersey pizza because Jersey pizza is the best pizza.
It is. It absolutely is. And it is New Jersey Day. But it is other days, too, though. I mean, there are a few other days today.
It's Jersey Day, and I'm, for some reason, wearing a Rhode Island beer shirt. Hold on a second.
All right, we're holding on because Dave is taking a Rhode Island shirt off and flashing his chest out, too.
That's better.
There you go.
There we go. Now I've got
There
a
you go.
Jersey
Now you
beer
got
shirt on.
yourself. What other day is today? I mean, there's another, what is it, National Barbie something?
Oh, it's Barbie in a Blender. National Barbie in a Blender Day.
National Barbie in a Blender Day. This right here.
There you
Barbie
go.
in a blender. There you go. National Barbie.
Yes.
In a Blender. I did not take that picture. I took that off the internet. So it was, Barbie in
It
a
was an
blender.
interesting holiday. Supposed to be something against the objectification of the woman's body.
Objectification of the woman's body.
Well,
So
you think
it's
about
what
it.
it was supposed to be.
But they said if Barbie's dimensions were put in real life, she wouldn't be able to lift her head.
True story. True story. I can
Apparently.
understand that.
They said so.
And there's another day today, too. It's somebody's
It
birthday,
is.
isn't it?
And it's funny because I just got done watching a movie called Knights of Badassdom.
Knights of
Which is-
Badassdom.
It's such a bad movie, but it's about LARPing, which LARPing came out of Dungeons and Dragons, and it's
Mhm.
Gary Gygax's birthday, so it's Gary Gygax Day.
Happy birthday, Gary Gygax.
And we want to know how old I am. I still have my original Dungeons and Dragons dice.
I think that means something else other than you being old.
I'm also a geek, nerd.
Geek, nerd, whatever you want to call it. There you go.
You know, but yes, and yeah, I was. Those are from the not Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, the original Dungeons and Dragons box.
The original Dungeons and Dragons box. Look at that.
So,
Gary Gygax, they had, how old would he be today?
no clue.
I believe 83, I'm pretty sure.
83.
83, yeah. I would believe.
Wow.
I do believe he'd be 83 today. Yeah. So, anyway.
So,
But all in all, it is National New Jersey Day, which is why you're eating a slice of New Jersey pizza, while you
and later on, I will be drinking from my
New Jersey
drink local glass.
drink local glass. There you go.
Mhm.
All right. So what are you going to drink for New Jersey Day today? So I know you have something special that you're going to drink.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you weren't able to drink what I'm going to drink.
No.
More on that later.
I'm not in the cool club because I play D&D. Well, I don't play D&D anymore.
Right.
I'm actually going to drink. It's been a while since I've drank something pink on the show.
Okay.
So
Yes,
I
it
got
has.
something pink.
There you go.
Good ribes, or as my autocorrect puts it, good vibes. But
Yes. It's good vibes.
I always text John what I'm going to drink on the show beforehand, and I didn't realize that it had been corrected. And as promised, we have a pink beer.
There you go. Good vibes. So, how is it? You getting good vibes from that?
Doesn't go with pizza.
I could have told you that before you poured it.
Not a pizza ale.
That's so
Black
much.
and red currants with
There you go.
Madagascar vanilla beans.
There you go. Got some pretty good vibes coming out of that.
Not that Vietnamese stuff.
Right. Well, on the note that it is New Jersey Day, we have the newest craft beer distributor, or craft beverage distributor, I'll actually say, on the show today. And I'll bring him on first. We have two guests, actually. And with that, I give you Justin Harm from Liquid Runner, co-founder of Liquid Runner. How's it going, Justin?
Hello. What are you guys doing?
Oh, no, just hanging out. I'm getting ready to have a beer. Dave was already drinking, as you saw. So
Yeah,
I'm
this won't take long.
with Dave. Yeah.
you're with Dave. There you go.
Yeah. I got a little excited, and
You got little
cracked mine early, and just realized I have a New Jersey themed pint glass as well. My CBA Colts pint glass here from my alma mater, my kids' alma mater. So go Colts!
Well, there you go.
Nice.
Go Colts. There you go. And also, we're going to bring on from Chimney Rustic Ales, Dan Borrelli. There he is, right there.
What's up, guys?
How's it going, Dan?
It's going. Glad to be here.
Good to have you. Good to have you. And I think the beer that the three of us are going to drink, obviously that Justin is already drinking, and for all I know, you're drinking it already too.
Sort of.
Sort of. There you go.
One separately. I
I get it all day.
We're on the show. Yeah.
Is going to be your Kuna. Is that correct? Did I pronounce it correct? Is it
Kuna.
Kuna. There you go.
Yep.
Chicha style.
Yep.
Chicha style. Ale.
Did you chew the corn yourself?
No. That is the first thing everyone asks me. We even put it on the menu. We've had some very interesting responses to that. Some people were like, "Well, I'd prefer it if you did." Like, hey, well, most people don't. But yeah, we've gotten some good responses on this beer for sure. It's pink guava, grains of paradise, corn, slightly tart, slightly sweet.
I'm pouring mine right here.
Yep.
And Justin, you're already drinking yours, huh?
I am already drinking mine. Yes.
Couldn't wait. I'm going to take the cursory log room picture here. Hold on.
Yes. Check out Craft Beer John on
There we go.
Untapped, and you'll
Check
see
out
these.
Craft Beer John on Untapped. There you go. There's my pour right there, and I'm drinking in a New Jersey themed glass too. I got a source glass right there.
There you go. Yeah, I got one of ours is stemless.
Very nice stemless glass. I'm gonna have to get down there and get one of those.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers. It's
Cheers.
basically a stemless teku.
I think it was supposed to be a stemless teku, but it doesn't have the curve.
Flair. Yeah.
The flair on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
This
They're
is
really
this is quite good, Dan.
Thank
It's
you.
very tasty. I'm liking this a lot.
Good. Well, I would hope.
No, I really am. It's really tasty. It's nice
Dan,
and light.
this is the first time ever, right?
Me?
The Kuna. This is the first release of it ever.
Yeah. What? We've brewed a whole bunch of it since, but that canning run, we just kind of.
Yeah.
I kind of came up with a concept in my head and just kind of went for it. So, happy accident, I guess.
It's really tasty. It's nice. It's nice and light. Pink guava's there, but it's not overpowering.
It seems to be everyone's favorite for the summer.
It's definitely
But it's sweet. It's tart. It's got a little bit of everything. But and at 4, what did I think? It's 4.2. Yeah, I mean, you can just crush it all day. Yeah.
And where would one get one of these?
That's a Justin question.
So why don't we ask Justin that?
Available. I mean, I don't have the list off the top of my head, but your Bottle Kings, your Buy Rights, your Spirit Unlimited, Bottles by Sickles and Red Bank, all of your better beer stores. Buy Right in Homedale off the top of my head, Buy Right Hamilton, Hopewell Super Buy Right. A lot of Buy Rights in my head right now for some reason.
Is it in all of the Bottle Kings too? Up in
Not necessarily case by case, and even the ones that have it, how quickly it's sold, and if we restocked it. Always call beforehand.
Gotcha. So that leads me to a couple of questions. Why don't we get into a little of discussion about liquid runner?
Sure.
Before we get into that question, let's back all the way up. I'll ask you the question that we ask everybody. The obligatory question for this podcast. What was the first craft beer you ever had that you can remember having anyway? And it could be craft, depending on
the first craft beer that I remember having. One of my good buddies, and so there's a slight backstory to it that's not very fun or thrilling, but we were drinking your typical Bud Miller Coors type stuff all the time. We went to the store one day and we're like, we want something different. So we're scanning the coolers and like, that one looks cool. And it was just a bottle with a yellow label with elk on it from Maine. And I believe it was Katahdin Golden Ale, which I'm pretty sure is no longer being made, but that was the beer. That was the first craft beer I remember having, and strictly purchased because there were elk on the label.
There was an elk on the label.
Yeah.
There were several elk or just one elk?
Several. There were multiple elk. Yes.
Multiple elk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good
One,
clarification. 'cause
one
elk-
elk. If it was
Exactly.
just one, I would have moved on to the next one. But there were
The fact that it had multiple elk on the label
sealed the deal. Yeah,
sealed the deal right there. Done.
And could you judge a beer by its label?
it was good. Yeah, it was. Again, we're going back.
Well, compared to everything else you were drinking,
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, this had to have been 25 years ago. But
I'm not going to.
No, John and I have you by about a decade.
yeah.
But Dan, same question for you.
I remember, so two-parter.
I know it's probably like 25, 30 years ago for you too, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. 10.
Actually, I can give you a pretty close number. It was 11. I remember. So the first craft beer I ever sipped was something from Flying Fish. I was about 14,
Okay.
and my cousin was drinking. So he was getting into craft beer. He was about 22 at the time, and he had something from Flying Fish. No idea what it was. And he's like, "Hey, you want to try this?" Because I think I was like sneaking Smirnoff Ices like a champ at the time. Here, try this. And I remember drinking it, and it tasted like raw carrots. And I was like, yeah, maybe not for me. I think I'll stick to the Smirnoff. But then I had a 60-minute like the next year, and I loved it. So
There you go.
yeah,
That was when Flying Fish was doing that raw carrot ale.
Oh, was it?
Right, yeah.
Did they? I honestly, did they really? That'd be awesome.
That would be funny.
I mean, there was something about it, man. It literally tasted like chewing on a carrot.
Interesting. I wonder, you don't remember what beer it was?
I don't. I just remember the logo on the label because I remember seeing it after I turned 21 and going, I know what that is.
Did it say EXIT above a number?
No. I'm pretty sure that was before the Exit series. They might have had one at the time.
Gotcha.
But, yeah.
Tasted like a carrot.
Tasted like
Yeah, I mean, I was also 14 and drunk on Smirnoff Ice, so it probably actually was like beer, and I was an idiot.
It was probably actually it was
It was probably
actually a really
awesome.
good beer.
I have no idea.
You couldn't, yeah. Oh, please. If I tasted an IPA when I was 13 or 14 years old, it wouldn't have been.
You probably would have retched.
Yeah.
I had 60 Minute the following summer. Say we went down to Ocean City, New Jersey every summer, and I was just, the next year I was like, all right, give me one, and I drank a 60 Minute and I liked it. So who knows? I have no idea, but
Awesome.
whatever.
Cool.
Yeah, underage drinking for the win.
Well, I mean, sometimes things fall into your lap and you don't know what they are, and there's no adults to blame or anything. It just it occurs. It happens.
Yeah.
Happens to the best of us anyway.
Or you go to a college where the liquor store doesn't card.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Yeah.
not anymore, but back then, yeah.
Yeah, but back then they weren't carding, and I think my first was actually Boston Lager, just as it had come out,
There you go.
which is probably about a year before it was legal.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I played hockey in college, and I moved into the hockey house second semester, and there was just a keg in the house at all times. So convenient, but
Exactly. All right. So, with that out of the way, what's Justin? Back to you. What's your background? I mean, I know what it is. Why don't you tell everybody what your background in sales is? And I mean, you've been doing this for just a little.
Yeah, we're gonna go a little over a decade, a little more than a decade now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even. It's 2021, so like 11 years. So I got my foot in the door, kind of independently repping craft breweries. Not kind of, definitely. I had been working in the casino marketing space and decided I wanted to shift, and had a passion for craft beer, but needed to make some contacts. So I basically had my own company, which was just me, and I repped smaller brands like Erie Brewing and Keegan Ales. We did some stuff for the Beach House guys. And then I had 6 Point as one of my partners as well. Awesome guys, awesome brewery. A lot of my brands, though, were affiliated with Short Point Distributing. Got to know those guys quite a bit. Went to work there for a couple of years on the on-premise side of things. The 6 Point guys came calling a couple years later, like, hey, we've got something a little bigger and better for you. So I ended up going back over there, and I ran the national sales network for that brewery for 5 years or so. I've recently had a stint with my friends over at Carton Brewing, running the sales team there, and we're doing this now.
There you go.
We've been doing this since we officially launched. Yeah, those guys right there.
Yeah, right there.
We officially launched in January of this year. Was our first official delivery. So
and you co-founded the company.
I co-founded, yes.
Just a warning. The owner of the brewery you just mentioned,
Yep.
do not say his name 3 times in the show. He has a tendency of appearing.
Like that. Just boom out of nowhere. Just pops right up.
Just don't do that.
Well, you're always in for great conversation when he does appear. So
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Great conversation is to say the least. But yeah, no. So you've been doing this for a while. Safe to say. I mean,
I have indeed. Yeah.
And and we go back in a couple of those incarnations as well. But whatchamacallit? Your time spent with 6 Point was definitely quite fun.
It was fun. It was. I mean, the role that I had, it was a lot of traveling, a lot of traveling, which is one of the reasons that I stepped back and wanted to do something a little closer to home, much closer to home, actually. Was wife, kids, was all over the country several years in a row, and it wears on you after a while. Wanted to take that experience and do some other things a little more locally.
So when did you first get the bee in your bonnet to open something like this?
This has been kicking around.
Bee in your bonnet. How old are you?
Well, while we were talking about us being old, so I figured I'd just keep going with it.
Wait a second. I'm older than you. Don't make me any. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry, Justin.
Yeah,
No. Don't worry about it. I've been kicking around some iteration of it, definitely for a couple of years. Came really close a couple of years ago. Some things flipped and went the wrong way. My co-founder Chris and I met up and talked and a few things, and eventually it came to fruition towards the end of last year. And like I said, up and running early this year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very nice. And your catalog at this point?
We are up to about a dozen brands off the top of my head. So let me see if I can rattle through them. In New Jersey, we've got Dan with Chimney. We've got that guy right there. We've got Little Dog in Monmouth County.
Gretchen, she's been on the show.
Yep. And we have Cross Keys down in South Jersey in Williamstown.
One of John's favorites.
We've got Long Island. We've got a bunch of Long Island brands, actually. We've got Mustache, 1940s, Destination Unknown, and Spider Bite. Plus, we have
I love Spider Bite.
Yeah, they make some really solid stuff. And we've got a wine spritzer, so that's why we're not craft beer distributing. We're beverage. We do more than just beer. We've got a wine spritzer from Canet out on the North Fork. We've got Wild East from Brooklyn. They are a very new brewery. They opened just before the pandemic struck last year. Hop Culture named them one of the top 10 new breweries in the country last year. They make some really, really solid lagers, some mixed ferments. I mean, everything they do is it's fantastic. Got Hardball Cider out of PA, Wiseacre out of Memphis, Tennessee, and the good folks from Sunlab Brewing down in Miami. One of their co-founders is actually a former Carton guy, and he's Middletown, born, I don't know, but raised in Middletown. So
that's why that sounds familiar. I've been to Wild East.
Wild East is right by Dino Barbecue. It's right by Strong Rope. It's right by what else is over there? Yeah.
Well, Dave, you went to Strong Rope, right? Yep.
Oh yeah, I wound up at Strong Rope. One of their soft openings.
Yep.
Just kind of I don't know. My beer radar just made me stumble across the place, and we wound up coming in before they'd even opened, and they had the doors open. They poured for us, and it was awesome.
Why not? What the hell?
But Wild East is a neat place. It's a cool space.
Awesome.
Good beers.
Well,
yeah, and one of their owners, Lindsay, is New Jersey based as well. So the brewery's not New Jersey, but there are some New Jersey connections there too. So.
Gotcha. What's your reach like right now? How far you're pretty much covering the entire state? I know you're not in every you're not in every store, obviously, in every bar.
No, we're not in every store. We'll deliver statewide. The heavier populated areas and the areas closer to our home base, we tend to do a little bit more. So we're in Toms River. We have a healthy account base in that Monmouth Ocean area. We're strong in Middlesex and Somerset, out to Mercer, down to Burlington. we do, we do very well at the Bottle Kings up north, Mercer County, Bergen County, and some of the less populated counties, the Sussex counties of the world, Salem, Cumberland, a little less so, but we can and will deliver anywhere in the state.
Cool.
You
Awesome.
got to get into the buy right over there.
You got it.
Because this is a heavily populated area of the state.
Yep.
Trust me, it takes about half an hour to go 5 miles here.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. Well, it's like I always say, and talk about like going to Mets games or whatever. And I live near you, Justin.
Yep.
Down. I'm in Monmouth. You're in Ocean, but whatchamacallit, if I want to go to a Mets game, it's actually a much quicker ride for me to go watch a Mets away game in Philadelphia than it is for me to drive up to Citi Field. And if there's no traffic, it's about the same distance of a ride. If there is, it's still a little bit longer going there. But if there's any traffic, it's like 3 times as long.
So you can. I'm sure you've done this, but there's a major snafu to it, in my opinion. You can take the C streak.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But if it's a blowout, you're stuck until the game is over.
Right.
So if it's a 17-2 game in the 5th inning and you want it,
there is one that goes to the marina right there.
Yeah. It's a fantastic ride. It's nothing but convenient and enjoyable. But it's that, again, if it's a blowout and you need to get out of there, you need to find a different way. So
exactly.
Yeah.
And you're talking about the one that launches out of Atlantic Highlands, or
Atlantic Highlands, one bite. Yeah.
Any over there? Yeah.
Yeah. I work in the city. I am 8.5 miles from where I work. Takes me an hour.
Huh.
The commute in will take me an hour. Because you don't drive and park there, because otherwise you're giving your paycheck back to the garage, right?
Yep. I'll one up you. When I was at 6 Point, I was back and forth to the brewery 3-4 days a week. So in Red Hook in Brooklyn, Red Hook to my front door is about 60 miles. No traffic. I can do it in an hour and 5 minutes or so. I had a Friday in the summer that I was there that I had to get back home. It took me about 4 hours to go 60 miles. Yeah,
that's about right.
Those things happen because that city empties on Fridays.
We went to a Met game. We left down by us and got there. It literally took just shy, maybe 5 minutes or so, just shy of 4 hours to get to Flushing, to get to Citi Field.
This is definitely a New Jersey Day conversation because we're just all bitching about traffic.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Except Dan. Dan, do you have any traffic bitches?
No, I live in South Jersey.
Well,
all the roads are kind of straight, except every now and then you get a weird intersection with like 6 roads coming in together.
Every once in a while, we get a PA tag doing like 15 under in the left lane. You gotta, carefully make your way around them on the right, and that's not the only problems I have.
I really want all the signs that say "Welcome to New Jersey." I want them all changed to say "Welcome to New Jersey." Now get the fuck out of the left lane.
Yeah, right.
For real, dude, I don't understand it. Why are you in that lane?
And
York, if you're going to drive at that speed, why? Yeah,
how am I supposed to do 90 in the left lane and a 45? If you're doing 40 in a 45.
What they don't understand out of state is that the number of the road that you're on is actually the speed limit. It's interstate.
Yeah.
So on 80, you should be doing at least 80.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
On 280, well,
I have 73 near me. I do about 73 on it.
And what
78?
Yeah, but what happens when you get out to Route 3? Hey, you're screwed.
Well, Route 3 is not interstate. So I'll say that the interstates.
Has to be interstate. Okay.
Has to be an interstate,
Gotcha.
not the state highways.
So out in California, Interstate 5 is 5 miles.
But that's about accurate.
Well, that's true.
It's about
that's
as
true because
fast
of the
as
traffic
you can go
and
on
everything
that
else.
road.
Sure,
Yeah.
that's true. That is true. Anyway, all right. Back to Liquid Runner. So you guys
before you get back to Liquid Runner, Dan just finished his beer.
Okay.
Oh, I got plenty of beer.
He's got
No, I'm empty too.
Yeah, so I'm pretty much empty. So why don't we open, Dave? Why don't you open since you're drinking different beers than us?
I'm drinking different beers, so I'm going to actually go to what do I get here? So, John, I was up in Rhode Island a couple weekends ago.
Yes, I did.
Stopped at Thimble Island, which is a different island, and that's also currently not an island. Well, the brewery's not
currently not an island.
Did I say currently?
You said currently not an island.
Apparently not an island.
Apparently not.
So we stopped there and we brought back Amelia. So this is a watermelon and lemon sour. We brought it back because we actually liked it, so you don't need to wait for me to put out any tasting notes or if I like it or not. I'm going to pour this one into my Jersey glass, because Connecticut, yeah, we topped you for pizza this year. You in New York, so suck it.
I mean, honestly, it's just better here anyway.
Yeah, it just is. Oh God, I like that beer a lot.
I don't know if you guys know this. Hamilton, where we're located, and I'm not sure if this is still true, to be honest, but I went to high school here, and I know in high school it was the highest population per capita of Italian-American immigrants in the country.
In Hamilton.
In Hamilton.
Yep.
Huh.
So, yeah, we got here.
I would not have guessed that whatsoever.
I would not have either.
Well, I still think Albanians make the best pizza.
Oh, yeah?
Huh.
Yeah, there's a lot of my favorite pizzerias. It was Albanians back in the slinging the pies.
Yeah, I mean, everyone that cooks here is South American or Central American anyway, but
Sure.
and they're making the food. But
Gotcha.
I live in Kearney.
Yeah.
The Chinese restaurants. No.
Never mind. No. Well, I mean, yeah, it's possible. Why not?
Yeah.
What the hell? But anyway, so all right. So what are we? Dan, are you drinking what we're drinking? Justin, is he drinking? We're
Probably not. I'm guessing it's another chimney beer. Maybe. Let's say.
I don't know. So
I've got I just cracked the Wild East No Pretense. It's their American Pale Ale, little Mosaic, little Citra.
I'll go
Cashmere. Yeah.
I'll go Treehouse.
oh, geez,
Nice.
you're gonna have. Is that very green?
Yeah.
Nice.
You went Treehouse. He went Treehouse.
He went Treehouse.
No Pretense is not one of the ones I had when I was there.
I have a no pretense too, so I'm gonna have that as well with you.
So No Pretense is basically their one of their almost year round. You can get it pretty much the entirety of the year. Flagship beers. It's just a nice 5.2%, easy drinking, hazy, juicy, but with a little bit of a pop to it. A pale ale.
Hazy, juicy pale ale.
Yeah.
I think the reason I skipped on that one, we didn't drink a lot there because we had just come from Finback. And I ran through so much of what they had on the board. I wanted to be able to walk again.
There you go.
See, so one of my favorite things about Wild East, despite the fact that I've still not had a bad or even a mediocre beer from them, they're all really, really good beers, is that most of them are pretty low ABV, like 5% and under more often than not. So that just means I can drink more of them, and I do.
That's good. It's tasty. You're right. It's nice, easy drinking. It's 5.2%. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. Tasty. How's that very green for you, Dan?
I've had,
It's all right. It's just fine.
I mean, it's no chimney beer, but
They just
It's one of those Massachusetts breweries.
it blows my mind every time I drink something like this. It's like, oh yeah, there's a reason that they're selling out their friggin' brewery every single day. And when the other thing that blew my mind was I was there like maybe 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock on a weekday. The can was dated the day I got it, so they canned it that morning.
They canned it that morning. You went and picked it up.
Like 5 or 6 different ones. They were all canned that day.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
My neighbor was actually just up in Cape Cod, and they opened a. I guess it's just originally they wanted a tasting room, but I guess they couldn't work that out. So now it's just a a takeout place in Sandwich, Massachusetts.
Okay.
So he picked up a bunch. I just got a care package on my porch yesterday when he got back. So
Do they have sandwiches there too?
what's that?
They don't have sandwiches there?
No sandwiches in Sandwich.
No,
I'm sure they got sandwiches in Sandwich, just not in.
You can't get a sandwich there.
You can get a sandwich, but not at Treehouse.
But they're going to call it a grinder.
Well, it's true too. There you go.
We need to rename their time.
Grinder, Massachusetts.
So Justin, you've got to bring. When I was at Wild East, the beer that I had that I absolutely loved was Fervor and Defiance. Have you guys brought that in?
Fervor and Defiance, yes, was
Johnny. This one, it's a dark lager.
It's a damn good one too. It was on our first shipment from those guys back in when was our first shipment from them? April or so. Sounds about right.
Is there any still out and about or lingering around?
I doubt it. I doubt it.
I'm a huge Schwarzbier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
freak.
it's really good.
That is a fantastic beer.
Fervent. I mean, so we're bringing in some more of their Italian pills, La Ultima Moda, very, very soon. And what else do we do recently with them? Patience and Fortitude. Just got some really, really high marks. It's just a really nice Pilsner. Yeah.
Well, on that note, how much of a portfolio from most of your vendors are you bringing in?
It varies based on
course.
what the brewery does. So we'll take a brewery like Sunlab. Sunlab has a very unique but distinct plan of action and go-to-market strategy. They do 2 beers a month, and that's it. And we get those 2 beers, and it's usually an IPA and a sour. And as we creep into the winter months, I'm sure we'll get some stouts and other stuff. But it's 2 beers. When we get what we get, we sell it through it. When they're gone, and we get 2 completely different beers the next month, and then 2 more the next month, so on and so forth. Someone like Wild East, it's they've got a couple of more core offerings, and then it's rotation based on what they're kind of doing that month. Dan, I'd say you're kind of in the middle. You've got some core stuff that you're doing. You've got some rotational stuff that you do as well. I mean, that's fair, right?
Yeah. I mean, we don't can all that often. So when we do can, we try and can the stuff that is more of our core products. And then we'll throw 1 or 2 unique things in as well. And, try and vary up the stuff that gets sent out. And then, like do a seasonal or maybe a special double IPA or something. We have the core stuff. We have some other stuff. The other stuff is pretty limited because we'll do a pretty small batch of it. But yeah, it's fair.
And then, a brewery like Little Dog, Gretchen, 95% of what we sell is Duck Boy and Gesundheit. And then every now and then we'll get a smattering of some seasonals or specialty stuff she does. But we're really pushing the Duck Boy and the Gesundheit out there right now, and probably for the foreseeable future, too, because it's 2 really nice core offerings from her.
Oh, great beers.
Yeah. Oh, they're very, absolutely.
So, John, my check-in of that Schwartz beer was smooth as fuck, roasty. That's all I could get out because I'd probably drank about 8 to 10 in Finback before.
There you go. Smooth and how exactly how smooth is fuck? I'm just curious. Like, what's your fuckometer for smoothness?
Depends upon the motion.
All right.
It's a real measurement.
There you go. There you go. All right. The TMI portion of the podcast is brought to you by the Beer Samurai. There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. All right.
Got to get some brand in there.
Had to get some branding in there. All right. Cool. So that's, I was going to ask you on Sun Labs, you said their business model is 2 beers a month. Now, do they have a tap room? Or are they just strictly just brewing beer and distroing it, and that's it?
They are brewing beer and distroing it. I believe, I'm very confident the ultimate goal is to have a tap room. That's just not kind of in the stage that they're at right now. So,
are they contracting? Is that what they're doing? Or?
I don't know if it's called contracting or, it's probably more so an alternative proprietorship. I know Sam goes up to Westbrook and does the brewing with and for them for the beers. It's not, here's the recipe, see you later.
So he's gypsy brewing. It's not.
Basically,
so basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, speaking of tap rooms, Dan, so you're in Hammond.
Yes.
And how sizable is your tap room, and how many taps do you have?
We have 12 taps. We also do can pours. So sometimes when cans outlast the keg, we don't always pull beer when we can. We have minimums to meet. It's a whole thing. I don't want to get into that. But we usually have between 10 and 14 offerings. We try to keep it around there.
Cool.
Depending on what's in cans, what's not. Sometimes stuff kicks and something else isn't ready, but I'm really trying to keep all 12 on at all times. We have maybe 1,100 square feet for a tasting room. The whole building's only 1,800 square feet, and we got 30 barrel tanks here. So
only 800. We've got 1,100 foot.
Yeah, it's 1,800 square foot space, and
it's a magic brewery.
So yeah, it's there's not a whole lot of
1,100 square feet is the tasting room, but the whole building is a little over 1,800 square feet.
Yeah.
So you only have 700 square feet for your brewery space, and
you're drinking next to the tanks. So we have 30 barrel tanks. We have some 7 barrel tanks. We mix it up a little bit, but you're next to the tanks.
How big's your brew house?
We have 7-barrel brew house.
7. Okay, so you're quadruple batching.
Yeah, we do 4 batches to fill a 30, so it's 2 18-hour days.
Fun.
Yeah, you get by. I get to sleep for like a full day afterwards. It's pretty great. That's my reward to myself. But yeah, the tasting room, it seats. We have 44 seats in here, I think, currently. We have 40. I think we also have exactly 44 seats outside. And then we have 4 more picnic tables next to the building for larger groups and stuff like that as well. So we can fit almost 100 people inside and outside.
Nice.
So it works for us. We get by.
So a couple questions for you then. A couple more questions, I should say.
Okay.
For you. When did you first open? When was day one?
Official day one.
Official day one, not
January 2nd, 2019.
Okay.
For tax purposes.
Mm-hmm.
We had a soft opening the week before, and when I talked to the state about it, they said, "No, it's January 2nd." I said, "Awesome." 'Cause I guess they didn't want to do my taxes for one day of sales.
For a day of sales, yeah.
So that none of that got reported till January 2nd. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. January 2nd, 2019 is what we're going with.
As opposed to when you had your soft opening on January 1st, right? That's what you're talking about, right? Yeah.
No. It was earlier in the day on January 2nd.
All right. Oh, that too. Yeah.
I actually think the paperwork says January 1st, but yeah. And then, we opened then. We were open for 63 days, and then we were shut down for 207 for COVID. So, it was really nice. It was a really great, awesome first year for a tasting room.
Fun.
Right. Not 2019, 2020.
2020.
I was going to say the math didn't work right there.
No. 2020.
I kind of knew where you were going with that.
Yeah.
2019 was when you were getting everything processed and getting everything going, right? Yeah. How long did it take you to do it from deciding that you were actually going to opening, and making the, starting a business into
deciding when I wanted to open a brewery, like 10 years.
Well, yeah. I mean, from the actual initial starting.
I signed my lease July of 2018.
Gotcha.
So about a year and a half of construction, permitting, licensing, all that stuff. So we signed July 2018. We didn't move in until September 1st, 2018. Mm-hmm. And like a year or 3 months of construction. So we did a lot of it ourselves. Myself, my wife helped me a ton. My parents, some friends and family, hey, come hang out at the brewery, free beer and pizza. Yeah, saying, we got it done. So
that's usually the price of moving, not the price of construction.
Yeah, no, it was moving. It was just moving a lot of trash into a dumpster and a lot of construction stuff into the building. So
sure.
We had guys. There was. I think the first day we were in here was September 1st, and there was like 15 of us in here doing demo. Like people, everyone I ever met that was into beer just showed up. I was like, oh, awesome. So
I love demo.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a sledgehammer and I'm taking stuff
and
out.
You're ready to go.
There's a few people that I owe some beers to for sure. But we're getting by. We're having a good time here. So
how did you handle COVID? How did you were you able to?
I bought a growler machine 2 weeks before COVID.
Okay.
Not knowing, obviously, I had no idea. That thing showed up. We started doing crowlers, and then we were shut down. So we literally, I hand delivered beer crowlers to people for months. Just driving around, dropping stuff off. We had some friends helping with that too.
Sure.
Sure. Yeah, it was just crowler sales and anything people could come and pick up, and that was it. So,
I love that beer became essential during the pandemic.
Yeah,
and the New Jersey ABC just went, whatever you guys want to do.
Yeah, whatever you need. Just
they stopped in to check on us, but they were pretty nice about it. They showed up and were like, "Hey, are you doing growler fills?" And I went, "No, just crowlers." And they were like, "All right, good."
See ya.
Yeah, that was about it. Yeah, so it was cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, we got by. It was just. It was more like I felt like a pizza delivery guy where I was just driving around, running up to people's front doors all day. But
kept it under 15 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we delivered all over the state. We do runs all the way up to you guys too. Like maybe once every couple of weeks, if we could get a bunch of orders together, somebody would drive up. So
Drive all the way up by Hudson County or Bergen County.
Oh
by
yeah,
Dave,
yeah. We went all. I went as far north as Vernon at one point.
Oh, geez.
That's far.
You had enough orders to get up there?
I mean, I think it was 3 or 4, but some of them were a few $100. So yeah, people would just
Take the ride. Yeah, why not?
So, yeah. So it was great.
Get you out at least.
Yeah.
It's in the car. And
Oh yeah, it was awesome. We had a 2002 GMC Safari van that was licensed to the brewery. It was it only had one door that was open, and it was the passenger side door.
in and out of that door.
Well, yeah. So yeah, it was awesome.
I can tell.
The whole rear end of it fell out of it on the AC Expressway. So
great.
My car was in bad shape.
I mean, I only paid $800 for it. What do you want?
Well, it's not bad. You got your money's worth out of it.
Yeah,
at least.
for sure.
Anyway, so all right. What do you want to say if you have anything to say about Liquid Runner, about these guys, about Justin and Chris and Brennan and all those guys?
I mean, I never thought that I would really want to go through a distributor. Obviously, COVID changes things.
Sure.
But Justin reached out. We met up. We talked. We had a good time. We didn't even really talk business. We just hung out and drank beers. And I was like, all right, this guy's cool. I get it. But so, I was open to the idea from that. And then when we started talking business, he had a lot of really good points. He had, about like the way they modeled their business. And I'll let Justin tell you the way they want to go out and sell things. They don't want to just dump beer, I guess is the right term. They want to put you in a spot to succeed, because obviously that's good for them too. But it's been really nice to work with somebody that kind of gets craft beer. They're not like a big beer person. They're a craft person. And that's really, honestly, the only reason I signed with him was because he shared my ideas about the craft beer industry for the most part. So yeah, I'll let him tell you about their business model, but I'm really happy to be with somebody that cares about me, Like,
well, it's
I
definitely good to
appreciate
hear.
that. Thanks, buddy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's great to hear, actually. And Justin, why don't you take it from there? Why don't you explain the business model now?
Yeah, so Dan, hit the nail on the head with very broad strokes. We were not pump and dump. We don't want to put numbers on a page and put 20 cases of one brewery there and 30 there. And I'd rather deliver to an account every week and get them fresh beer every single week and bring them a couple of cases and then bring them a couple more cases and have it grow organically versus having it sit there and get old and stale. And then we've got to pick it up, or the consumer buys it and has a bad experience with it. Sure. Will we be perfect with that? No, nobody will. It's impossible. But that's the long and short of it. We're looking to put the right beer into the right hands at the right places at the right time. It's not just sell in to hit numbers. And we're also not looking to have a massive portfolio where maybe after you sell in the first few things in the book that are your leaders, you might get to the second tier and the third tier, quote unquote, in the book. We want all of our guys to have. Will some breweries sell more than other breweries at the end of the day? Yes, that's just the nature of the beast. But we want everybody to get their fair shot and have that face time and voice time and be able to present Liquid to people and then let them see what all of our partners are about. And it's really signing brands that we're passionate about and Liquid that we're passionate about. At the same time, it's all stuff that we want to drink. So, and that we think the New Jersey consumer will want to drink.
You're currently, you said about 12 accounts.
No. We've got about 12 partners. Account wise, we're 135, 150, something like that throughout the state. Yeah.
Awesome.
And so that you delivered to. So your partners are the ones you're taking the liquid from.
Correct.
And the accounts where you're running them to.
There you go.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
See what I did there? So as far as your partners, their plans to expand beyond 12, and how far is that? Because you just mentioned you want to.
Yeah.
There's a break point where it stops becoming that personalized anymore, right?
Sure. Yeah. Are we actively looking right now? Not necessarily. If a brand like, and this hasn't happened and I don't expect it to. If a brand like a Trillium or a Treehouse came calling and said, hey, we want to come to New Jersey, we'd be stupid to not have a conversation with them. It's just the nature of the beast. So yeah, it's we go out, and when we're out of state, or even when we're within the state, if we find somewhere something that we like, and even with Dan's beers, I had a buddy of mine give me a handful of his beers, and I fell in love with every single beer that I had. Like, I've got to get down and talk with this guy, and that's what we did. And we shot the shit a few times, and then we're off and running. So
there you go.
Yeah.
I think I gave you my cell number, and you texted me and you said, "Cool, I'll see you in a little bit." I went, "All right, sweet, see you soon."
Yeah,
it was very casual, but like he jumped on that immediately, which I don't want to say that I felt flattered, but I might have.
Flattery is a great language to use.
Absolutely.
I mean, we met for the first time, and then what, Dan? Maybe a week or two later, you're like, "Hey, I'm going to be up at my buddy's place at Last Wave. Last Wave is maybe 10 minutes from my house." He's like, "Come hang out, drink some more beers." And those were kind of our business meetings to form a partnership. So
there you go.
Yeah.
We're doing a collab with Last Wave. They're putting it out in August or September. They'll have it out in September.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do it here as well. So yeah, Last Wave collab coming. So,
there you go. Well, the next time you go up and drink beer by Nick and and them over there, it's only 10 minutes from me too. So let me know. And
I will let you know.
I'll take it right there. And speaking of what we were just talking about before, I forget what we were talking about, but Tony Drury just commented he wanted to know, has it been a week already? He said
it's been a week already, Tony.
Speak to him at his regular name, at his new name, I should say.
His
Mexican name. No, his Mexican name.
Oh, it's
Ataclan.
Spanish. Yes, Spanish for the scorpion.
The scorpion, yeah, right.
Yes,
so,
he
was our guest last week. So
he is a spiritual advisor,
and he misses us. Look at that, and the scorpion's there too.
And this is his new profile pic. He just posted that the other day, so he must be out in far west Texas.
Absolutely, yeah.
On his way out there, because you're not really from Texas. Have you been to Alacran?
Alacran, there you go.
There you go. You have not been to far west Texas. You're not a Texan.
You have not been to Texas. Yeah, you are not. Yeah. He's a spiritual advisor. He does some classes in Dallas, Fort Worth, and that whole area, and everything else. Teaches people, lets them learn about the craft, literally. But in any event, so no, that's great to hear that you guys have that relationship and you built that up. And from what you're saying, it's obviously what you have going on with everybody in your portfolio. And it's good to hear. It's refreshing too, because you hear a lot, and I'm not going to get into names, and we all know what they are. And some distributorships are really good, even some of the bigger ones, and some are just it's not necessarily about the bottom line, so to speak, but it becomes that because they just get so big, and what they're doing, it's unfortunate. They don't have a choice. It has to become that.
Right.
But it's refreshing to hear of what you're doing. And granted, you're still in your, I won't say infancy, but kind of, sort of. I mean, you just opened in the beginning of this year.
I think it's accurate.
Fair enough to say, but yeah, it doesn't seem like you want to. And I don't mean obviously grow your business. Clearly, you're going to grow your business, and I think the model you have is going to help you do just that. But and good luck to you and all of that. But I think that it's like I said, it's refreshing to hear what you're doing, and of course Dan saying that too. Glowing accolade and recommendation from him. So
well, thank you. I appreciate that, and I'm proud to say since we've opened, we have grown every single month, and it's refreshing to see that we're doing it by doing it our way. And as we're not reinventing the wheel. We're just we're doing it at a pace that we think is right. Again, putting the right stuff in the right place at the right time, or what we think is you sell somebody 5, 6, 7 different beers. Are they all going to succeed right away? No. Some may take off right away. Some may take a little bit of time. Some that may not be the right place, but then you find the right place could be just down the road, around the corner, or whatever. And it's mixing and matching and finding those spots versus moving widgets.
Right.
It's the beer. I like beer too much to consider it a widget. So
yeah,
I hear you.
Or Sprocket.
Or Sprocket.
Sprocket.
Yeah. Spacely.
Spacely Sprockets. And it could be a Cogswell Cog.
Or Toad the Wet.
Or Toad the Wet. Yeah, there you go. I went the other way on the Jetsons, but in any event,
I originally meant the Jetsons, but then Toad the Wet Sprocket came into mind.
Toad the Wet Sprocket came to your mind. You had to go with it. I guess.
And you know where they got that name from, right?
Toad the Wet Sprocket. Go ahead.
It was from a Monty Python skit.
Yes, it was.
Rock News.
You are correct, sir.
Because their lead triangle player had hurt his elbow, and that was news.
Lead triangle.
I can't remember the name of the triangle player, but he was a lead triangle player for Toad the Wet Sprocket.
Funny.
Anyway.
Quick bit of news.
We have industry news?
We have industry news.
We haven't had industry news in almost a month.
There's been a beer missing for a little while.
Missing beer.
In the Colorado area.
I didn't drink it. No, I probably didn't drink it. No.
No, you didn't drink it. I drank it, but you didn't.
Oh, you drank it.
I drank it.
I haven't been to Colorado, so
it is being re-released. It's coming out again. There we go, right there. Wincoop's Rocky Mountain Oyster Stout returns with twice the balls per barrel.
Oh man,
there you go.
Those poor bowls.
I've been to Wincoop's and I didn't get that beer. I don't think it was available at the time, but I had a phenomenal steak.
Mm-hmm. Oh, steaks. Yeah.
I've been and I've had the beer, and it's actually a very, very nice beer.
And I've been and I've had the beer, and it's a very nice beer. It is. It's absolutely delicious, and it sucks to say that, but it really is.
You want to rephrase that?
It's absolutely good.
There you go.
It's very good.
No. I meant the sucks part.
The sucks part. No, I'll leave that in there.
Suck down some nut beer, man.
Yes, there you go. Suck down a couple of ball beers.
There we go.
All right, but no, it is very
suck
good.
down a couple of ball beers. Okay,
beers,
never mind.
Yeah, beers.
I was pretty drunk when I got to Wincoop, and I guess their restrooms in the basement, as well as all their barrels. And I was just,
Yeah, you got to walk down to the brew house floor to go to the basement.
Yeah, it was great. It was a cool place.
So, it is cool. Yeah. All right. Should we open a third beer?
Yeah.
I think we should open a third beer.
Open a third beer.
We're opening a third beer.
All right.
We're all going different on this one, aren't we?
We are all going different.
Yeah,
on
this is going to be.
So I don't have to go first this time.
You do not.
We'll let Justin go first because we just heard his crack.
Exactly. What is your third beer? What is your wild card for this evening?
So my wild card is alternate ending Royal Rug Pills.
Royal Rug.
Royal Rug.
Yeah.
And what movie reference is that from?
The King Has No Toupee? No.
So you've got Lebowski and Aladdin
Yes.
as the match
Together.
one. Yeah.
Together in one.
It pulls the whole thing together.
So they're buddies of ours. They're literally right on the Aberdeen Matawan border in Monmouth County. Bit of a scoop of news for you guys. Actually, we have signed them, and we are going to start distributing their kegs. They're going to be a little draft only for us starting August 1st.
There you go.
Will this be the 13th partner then?
This will be, yes.
The 13th
Lucky
partner.
13.
As long as my math from earlier checks out, which 50-50.
So when you were saying, "Oh yeah, we'll expand if it's right," you knew.
You knew.
I knew.
Yeah,
And this just happened during this podcast, ladies.
We had some foreshadowing.
Perfect example. I mean, these conversations, this is probably a 6-month. This wasn't, hey, we're going to call you guys last week and we knocked it out. This was a 6-month lead time kind of a thing. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So going out with their two flagships, their Royal Rug Pills and the What If IPA to not the entire state with this one, to select counties to start. So we're looking at Monmouth, Ocean, Middlesex, Somerset, Mercer off the top of my head.
Gotcha. So it's draft only though, no cans. They're
And
still
draft
doing
only.
cans only out of the brewery still.
Correct.
Now, this
For
is
now.
a classic pills.
This is a classic Pils, middle fruit. Just a nice 4.8%.
So look at the German tradition of pills or the Czech tradition, which
I'm going German.
Yeah,
You said German, yeah.
I'll tell Middle Fru is German.
It's German, yeah.
Czech.
Mm.
So,
I'll
there
be
you go.
talking Saz, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want to get in talking sauce.
Anyway, so what do you drink it, Dan?
I have an Allagash Curcuma.
Nice.
I love Allagash.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't love Allagash?
If I had to pick one brewery that like I wish that was me. It'd be Allagash. Like everything they make is so good. They're so good to their staff. They're building their facility's amazing. They're just an incredible brewery. So,
Been a few times. Love it there, and we'll be back in August.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yep.
I was there maybe 2 months ago.
Were you?
Yeah, it was right after they just started up outdoor seating. The inside was still closed. We intended to go there for a little bit, and
Turned into a lot bit.
I don't know if we just look like brewery people, but they were like, "Oh, are you guys from another brewery?" Like as soon as we walked in, and I was like, "Yeah."
Just
And
had
they're
that brewery look about you.
Yeah, they were like, "Awesome! Here's a bunch of free rounds," and handed me a stack of tokens. It's like,
Nice.
awesome. And then I actually grew up with the local rep. Oh my gosh, his name's Jared.
I'm sorry you grew up.
I know.
A bad thing to do.
Trying not to.
I thought there was a period after the word up. Yeah.
So I said, "Hey man, I'm in Allagash. This is awesome." And he sent some stuff over too. We ended up hanging out there for almost 4 hours. There was a 90-minute wait time, or there was a 90-minute limit, and they were like, "No, you guys are good." And we were there for almost 4 hours. We didn't pay for anything. They were the nicest people on the planet.
Nice.
And again, I went there because I was just a fan of their beer. I didn't expect the royal treatment, but I can't say enough nice things about them. So.
I may run into somebody I know while I'm there.
Oh yeah,
You might.
You might.
You
I
might.
might.
You might.
I might.
You just might.
I did see. I did see some New Jersey brewery shirts from other people that were there when I was there.
Nice.
I saw Departed Souls. I believe I saw a shirt.
Okay.
That would be cool. And then I think I saw a Slack Tide shirt as well.
I
Interesting.
do know that they're a big fan of these guys.
Carton.
Yeah,
Yes.
I actually had given them when I found out that because I think I was wearing a Carton shirt. When they said, "Oh my God, we love them," I went out to my car, brought in like a 4-pack of Boat for them,
Oh, nice.
and they were like, "Oh my God, we love this beer," and I got some bottles in trade.
Yeah, they're just super nice
Yeah.
there. We love giving away the owner's money, I guess.
Yeah, I think I went home with a couple bottles of Curiel.
There you go.
Boat tends to be a very magical beer in those situations, as it should be.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
There you go.
Right.
And as well as you should know, since you did have a little bit of history with it there.
Yes.
Just a bit. Anyway. So Dave, what are you drinking for your third beer?
So I did manage to find one thing I do like about the buy right near me is they do carry Grimm.
Mhm.
And this one, I think this is their newest IPA, Bomp.
Bomp.
Bomp. B-O-M-P, Bomp.
Definitely a grim label.
Oh my
That's for
God, this has got this is a little more orange than I expected it to be.
sure. Is it actually orange? I'd love to see that.
No,
Oh yeah, look at that.
that's freaking orange. It's and the thing is, the light's right above it, so it's really kind of washing it. That's more accurate right there.
There you go.
And
Interesting.
it smells like orange.
And it tastes like orange. Look at that.
Tastes like guava. No,
Tastes like guava.
just kidding.
Mine has turmeric in it, and you would think it would be yellow, but it's pretty. I mean, beer's yellow, I guess, anyway, but it's pretty clear.
Yeah, I was gonna say you put turmeric in anything and it immediately turns yellow.
It immediately turns yellow. Yeah, it's a turmeric
No, actually,
beer.
this is
it's a
not
filtered
quite
turmeric beer.
An orange beer.
There you go. Well,
It'll
speaking
take
of
me a while. But what are you opening?
speaking of orange, I'm going to have
Orange.
orange jumpsuit from
There you go.
Nice.
CKBC from
Orange
Cross
is
Keys
the new
Brewing Company.
orange is the new black.
Orange is the new black. Wasn't that a?
It was a HBO show.
It was an HBO show, Orange or Showtime, or one of them. Yeah.
One of them.
think it was
Orange is the new
Netflix.
black.
I
Netflix.
think it was like one of the Netflix original, like one of the when they first started doing like the original programming. It was one
Yeah.
of them.
And it actually was the first year that carton was open. It was actually a small batch they did. One beer, I forget what it was, but I do remember that the name of the beer was Orange is the New Black. Since it's carton, right? So
Filling LP is like the brewery way to go in the business, right?
exactly. Again, take the cursory lager
Now,
picture.
now, Cross Keys, they are in
Cross Keys
Brothers catalog.
They are in our catalog. Yeah, they are down in Williamstown, also in South Jersey. So Orange Jumpsuit does very, very well for us, as it should. It's just a solid. It's a 7.1% IPA with some oranges in there, some oats as well. Again, I think it's our number 2 beer in our portfolio right now. Wherever we put it, it performs quite nicely, both draft and cans. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
Isn't Cross Keys? Isn't that a section of Williamston? Is Cross Keys actually like the name of the section of town or something? If memory serves, I could be wrong. I've been wrong.
Sounds about right. I'm a
main road that goes through Williamstown. It's like the connector between like Williamstown and the rest of civilization down here. So
There's civilization down there?
A little bit. Yeah.
well, yeah, there's like a quarter of the state that lives down here, and we don't have to wait in traffic to go anywhere.
Yeah.
That
doesn't necessarily start just down there. I mean, it starts by there's a little bit of traffic normally around where Justin and I are, but most of the time the amount of traffic is down here is other parts of the state coming here or leaving.
Say during the summer, your traffic.
Yeah.
I actually saw a really good map of the traffic, and it's like if you drew a line from like the Holland Tunnel to the Ben Franklin Bridge going into Philly, that line across the state there is like the traffic corridor. Because if you get up in the northwest and like the Vernon area, there's really not a lot, and then you get down in the southern part, there's really not a lot. But that corridor,
that's where your traffic is.
That Vernon area, it's most of the traffic is caused by crossings of deer and wild turkey.
Yeah,
True.
And then when you get down in South Jersey, you could have cows wandering across.
deer and turkey as well.
And that.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that when I go to Dan's brewery from my house, it's a straight shot down 70 and then just down 206, and then you're basically there. But the traffic pattern and the abundance of it, it's night and day. Once I get out to about Lakehurst, it just basically goes away. And
No. It's Once you get beyond Lakehurst, it's a straight shot down 70. Make a left on 206, and boom, you're there.
Yeah.
That's it. So. And you talk about other breweries being around. I mean, it's really nice. Let's get back to New Jersey Day here for a second.
And we're talking traffic again. Of course,
the breweries. Don't forget about the traffic, obviously, but nicer things about New Jersey. But the the brewery situation. You go back just 9 years ago when these laws first passed. There was 11 or 12 breweries in New Jersey. Now there's 140. Which is a beautiful thing. It's great. You talk about Bayou, Dan. You got you guys just down the road is Vinyl, and a couple blocks to the west is 3-3s. Over by Cross Keys, a few blocks east of Cross Keys is 13th Child.
Yep.
Correct. Yep. And several others are around there too. So it's like the fact that it's there's several in a lot of locations, and some of those locations aren't too far away from other locations. So beer tourism is a big thing, and
We've
you
talked
can make
about it on the show a few
absolutely
times.
It's huge, and it's not just in New Jersey; it's in a lot of other states. I was just out in Pittsburgh 2 weekends ago, and there's 42 breweries in Pittsburgh right now. It's ridiculous, and in and around Pittsburgh, suburbs around it. But
I'm not sure this stat's accurate, but I'm pretty sure that per capita in New Jersey is still like in the lower 4 or 5 per capita of breweries per people. In the country.
That's because our capita is so high.
Yeah,
because there's so many people, as small of a state as it is, there's so many people that live in New Jersey.
And
obviously,
for a long
per
time,
capita we're
small because you couldn't serve pints, you couldn't self-distribute, you couldn't do any of that. So we were so far behind the game as far as
if you look
open.
If you look at it, John talked about at one point we were at 11 breweries. At that point, before the law started to change, we were the number 1 state as far as beer being distributed into the state.
Yeah,
right.
No one even came close because, let's face it, New Jersey's full of a bunch of drunks.
Well, it also made practical sense too. If you a lot of these breweries want to send beer to New York City, they want to send it to Philly. Why wouldn't they just drop some beer in Jersey?
We're right there.
Yeah.
Yet there's beers that are in Philly that we don't get, and there's beers that are in New York that we don't get, and we will talk about that a little later.
We're gonna discuss that very shortly. I did want to bring up one thing, though. Justin and I talked yesterday when Brennan was first talking to Justin, and Brennan's not on the show. So sorry, Brennan, you had something that came up. You couldn't be with us on the show. That would have been our first five person, 3-guest show on the.
This is the second
podcast.
time that we've had planned to have 5 people on the screen at the same time, and wound up with 4 anyway.
Exactly.
The first time was with 4 City.
Yep, exactly. You're right. So in any event, when Brennan was first talking to Justin, and they were going back and forth, because we do this beer podcast on Tuesday nights, and Dave doesn't do it, but I do a sports podcast on Wednesday nights called Get On With The Podcast. Justin was like, "Oh, beer and sports, I'm in," but he's like, "It's 2 separate podcasts." But on that note, we're going to bring up some sports right now, Justin. So
Excellent.
because you said you wanted to, so we're gonna. All right. All right. First, I'm going to ask you what are your teams?
Me?
Your teams, yeah.
I am all over the map based on my age.
Go for it.
My age will make this all make sense. I'm a Yankees fan. I am a Yankees, basically Yankees, Celtics, Bears, because of Don Mattingly, Larry Bird, Walter Payton / the Fridge.
Okay.
That is not those are not bad reasons to be fans.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yankees, Celtics, Bears.
And I'm not a hockey guy.
And you're not
Bears.
Yeah. Gotcha. And Dan, I'll just ask you too. I'm going to take a wild shot and say you're a Philly fan.
Yeah.
All around, pretty
Yeah, we're below that half of the
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, that Manson-Nixon line.
Yeah.
yeah. I may
Manson-Nixon line.
Believe it or not, there is portions of Jersey that are below the original Mason-Dixon line.
there are.
There
Almost all of Cape May County.
Yep.
I am a Flyers fan.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd like to say I'm just kind of a hockey fan in general.
Right.
Like I've rooted for direct rivals of our team just because I appreciate them.
Sure.
But
not the Rangers, right?
But probably not the Rangers.
Well, I mean, at times they've had bright spots.
Mhm.
We just signed Keith Yandel today, and he was on the Rangers with Kevin Hayes.
Sure.
So they, they're doing some Rangers things coming over to Philly.
Mhm.
But yeah,
They saw what Tampa did when they got a bunch of Rangers.
right. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Lightning has won two cups in a row, and the Rangers south.
Yep.
pretty
And
much.
the people that got to watch the Lightning win the cup probably paid a full like $8 for the front row seats, but they got a good
Probably.
spot.
No, that's not fair. It's $30 for a front row seat.
Yeah, it's $8 for the second row. Yeah.
It's $8 for the second row, $4 for the third.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than hockey, I'd probably struggle to have a conversation about sports.
Okay.
But
So Dan
But it would
fills in
still
my-
be
my
it would,
hockey gap.
it would still be a Philadelphia.
I mean, I was Philadelphia
You're still
biased.
partial to the Phillies and the Eagles and
my friggin' roof.
yeah, I gotcha.
But yeah, it's definitely a Philly bias. Like if the Eagles or the Phillies or I don't really watch basketball that often, but if the Sixers were in the finals, I heard that was a thing this year. That they did.
Well, they came close. They came close.
I'd watch it out of interest, but I don't really actively follow it.
Gotcha.
And
Gotcha.
baseball, football, hockey, John and I are in total alignment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Basketball, I'm with Justin.
there you go.
There you go. All right. I'm a Mets fan. I'm a Giants fan, and I'm a Rangers fan. But as far as
To be the Central Jersey way, guys.
But you know what though, I got to tell you though, when it comes to baseball, I'm a Mets fan, but I'm also a baseball fan. So I really don't hate any team. I hate certain players. One of them happens to be on your team, but I will not say Bryce Harper's name on the show. I will not leave it off. But in any event, no.
I appreciate that he's willing to fight at the drop of a hat.
It should be a hockey.
That's the hockey guy in
It's
me.
high, right? Exactly, yeah. But anyway, no, I'm a baseball fan too. So I'm like, I don't hate any local teams. I'm a Mets fan. I don't hate the Yankees. I'm a Giants fan. I don't hate the Jets, and so forth and so on. You know, but
It's tough to hate the Jets. They can't seem to win a free.
well, why would you hate the Jets? Exactly, right.
They're not a threat.
Well, also his girlfriend's a Jets fan, so he's
And
not.
she's
allowed.
a Jets fan, so I have to. Yeah, exactly. But
He's-
Actually went to in 2009 when the Phillies were playing the Yankees in the World Series. Was dating a girl that was a Yankees fan at the time, and I brought her to the Philly Stadium to watch a World Series game. She wore her Yankees jersey.
Oh my God! How many times did you get your ass kicked?
Then I thankfully I was wearing my Phillies jersey, but she got berated the entire time. Like even the vendors, like we went up and got a beer and a hot dog, and the vendors were like, "You better not fucking buy that for her." I was like,
The vendors said that. That's great. That's awesome.
Dude, Philly's wild, man.
I will tell you that there was someone who went to college in Boston and lived there for a couple years afterward. There was nothing more enjoyable than walking around the city. And I lived within walking distance of Fenway basically the entire time I was there. Walking around town with my Posada or at the time Soriano or Giambi shirts on and just getting heckled. And it was all in good fun.
Gotcha.
The Boston,
Well, they don't.
Boston, Boston fans are
Boston fans. They like to heckle you, but they're not. Yeah, exactly. And Boston fans have mellowed over the years too, because they're technically right now, as far as World Series winningest, they're this century they're the World Series winningest team in Major League Baseball. So, but yeah,
I've got so with hockey. So like you, Dan, I'm a big hockey fan, and I love hockey. And in New Jersey, the Devils fans all think that their biggest rival's the Rangers. Ranger fans know better. It's like no, it's the Islanders, because
you think the Devils have fans, but
no. Well, the Devils do have fans.
Devils have fans.
There's Devils fans, but very few Devil fans are actually hockey fans. They don't know shit about hockey.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get in so much trouble for this.
Oh, no.
You are.
A buddy of mine's probably gonna punch me right in the face next time I see him, but I'm good with it.
But at any rate, but when it comes to hockey, if the Rangers aren't in it, I'm rooting for an original 6 team.
Right.
Okay.
Because I love that. And also when the Rangers played the Devils, one of the greatest playoff series when the Rangers played the Devils, the year the Rangers won the Cup.
Yes.
94.
94, yeah.
That was a phenomenal series.
By the way, we're halfway. It was 94 they won. All right. Yep. So that was 54 years from the last time they won the Cup. They won the Cup in 1940.
And then we got 27 years.
We're halfway to another Cup right now. 27 years, we're halfway to another Cup.
But my point is,
same year that the last time the Maple Leafs won a series.
Maybe possible.
I'm pretty sure the last time they won a series was like 1994.
But my point was that I've told Devils fans, and they don't believe me, that had the Devils won that series, I would have been rooting for the Devils against Vancouver. Because whoever won that series deserved the damn cup.
Yeah.
That was the series.
That was the series.
That was the series.
And sometimes it happens, man. Like the two best teams meet up, and then that's it.
And the only reason that went to 7 versus Vancouver went to 7 games is because the Devils had taken so much out of the Rangers.
Right.
Yeah.
They were absolutely exhausted by the time they got to that series.
Mm-hmm.
There was the really classic series, Flyers Penguins. Right when Claude Giroux and Sidney Crosby were in their primes, I mean, it was a bloodbath. It was one
of the few times I rooted for the Flyers because, John talks about players that we don't hate. No, I hate Sidney Crosby.
Okay.
Did you hate Eric Lindros, though?
I'm 100% sure I can't.
You hated Eric Lindros when he was in Philly, but not when he came to.
No, I hated him as a Ranger too. He was useless as a Ranger.
He
kind of was,
but that
series,
Flyers lost the next series after that series. You could just see they could barely skate. They were just destroyed. Yeah.
And you remember that one shot that Lindros took to the face with a puck?
Yep.
Teeth went flying and all that. I mean, that was horrific. As much as I hate Crosby, I could only watch that like 45 times.
Well,
I keep my mouth shut about Sidney Crosby as a hockey fan and someone that played their whole life. Like, there's some wild shit that dude does that for a long time no one else could do.
Yeah,
is it because the refs wouldn't let anybody put a hand on him?
Yeah, well,
and while that all is true, right now the new guy to hate in the NHL is Mr. Wilson from Washington. So,
I love Tom Wilson.
We said on the sports podcast a couple weeks ago, or actually about probably a month or so ago, we were talking about it, and we said every team has to install a Wilson enforcer. What they do is anytime Wilson comes out on the ice, you send that guy out on the ice, and he beats the shit out of Tom Wilson. And he's out for the rest of the game. So he doesn't
probably just stop whining about it in hockey.
Just that's it.
Just
So
play
it's
hockey.
basically the hockey version of Hack-a-Shack.
Pretty much. Pretty
Yes.
much. I guess, yeah.
There you go.
But I just want to say this one other thing. BB, the Giants fan, probably the only team in professional sports I hate is one team that we can actually agree on. Yeah, it's really the only team I hate. And actually at this point, the only reason I hate them is because of their owner. But that's besides the point. So.
And the thing is, I've liked a lot of the players off that team.
Sure, absolutely.
Just not the team.
If I could sit down and talk to Emmett Smith right now, or Troy, or Michael
Bates.
Irvin, or go
Bates.
back, I'd love to sit down and talk to whatchamacallit?
Drew Pearson?
Really? Drew, why not? Drew Pearson or Tony Dorsett? No,
Were you talking about the guy who graduated from the Naval Academy?
I was talking about the guy that graduated from the Naval Academy. Exactly.
Wasn't there a guy on? Wasn't there a guy on the Cowboys?
That would be Roger Staubach.
went
by
to
the way.
Monmouth
There you go.
Miles
Is that-
Austin.
a while ago? Yeah,
Miles Austin
Yeah.
was a Monmouth.
yeah. I think he's my age, and I remember people were like, "Oh yeah, I know that guy." And I'm like, "Oh, cool."
So anyway.
Whatever.
Wrong
All
team.
right.
Yes.
All right, so Justin, you're a Bears fan.
I am.
All right, my second team, if you will, because I always have I have a second team in a lot of sports that I also follow. And being a Giants fan, especially these last several years, you have to have another team, because after the Giants are mathematically out of it, you got to follow somebody.
Couldn't pick a good one.
I'm a
But
Packers
his
fan.
second team is the Pack.
I'm a Packers fan. Yeah.
Oh, come on.
So,
See, my second team is actually the Steelers, but my third team is the Bears. And the reason I'm such I love the Bears so much, being a Giants fan, there's only two teams in the NFL that used to love to watch their defense take the field.
Mhm.
The Giants and the Bears.
sure, absolutely.
Right. And that's why I appreciated the Bears so much, is because their linebackers,
Mhm.
and the way their defense played that game, they played the game a lot like the Giants played the game,
Sure.
where it was the offense's job to not lose the game
Right.
because the defense is they're going to shut down the offense.
Exactly. And
So-
and on that note, I'm a big NFC North fan. So between the Packers, the Vikings, the Lions, and the Bears.
Well, that's fair. I mean, it's arguably the best rivaled division
Sure.
in sports, quite frankly. So,
I'm not sure that's arguable. I think that's
No, I
just,
think it's true.
It just
Yeah.
is.
yeah.
But I want two predictions from you. All right, I want two predictions from you. One, you got Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Are you happy with that?
Yes.
Okay. My prediction number one. What's the Bears' record this year?
8-8.
Well,
He's
no.
taking over 500.
It's going to be 8-9 or 9-8.
Is there an extra game this year?
17 games this year.
It's the Bears. I'm going 8-9.
That is spoken like
Fair
a
enough.
Bears fan.
Spoken like a true Bears fan. There you go. Because you did hear the news, right? Aaron Rodgers actually did
reported
settle
to camp
everything,
today?
and he reported to camp today. So obviously the Packers are winning the division again.
Damn it.
But in any event, okay, 8 and 9.
And who? Stafford's not on the Lions anymore. So
No,
it
no.
was Stafford for Goff.
It's Goff, yeah.
Yeah.
Jared Goff is the Lions quarterback.
And now
so-
Stafford's a Florida man.
No, Stafford's a
Oh,
Rams.
right.
They
Rams.
did a trade.
Rams, that's right.
Goff for Stafford. But my other question for you: who's in the Super Bowl and who's winning it?
Oh God, this year.
By the way, what do you think about that? I'm going to turn off the orange jumpsuit crawl because I think everybody knows that I had that beer by this point.
I'm gonna go Chiefs. And I can't even. I don't even know.
Could it possibly be a repeat?
No, I don't see. I don't see
You don't
Bucks.
think Tampa's making it
You don't
again?
think
No.
Tampa's making it again? You don't think?
I don't. I don't know. I don't know in the NFC.
Interesting.
Not
Um,
big.
I'm actually going to go out on a limb, and I'll finish my question for you.
Yeah.
I agree with you with the Chiefs, and the Packers are going to get there this year.
Homer.
No, it's not even because of that. I think that they're there. I think they made a couple of the right moves, and as long as they play the right games against Tampa, Brady's not going again. Aaron Rodgers will get back to another Super Bowl.
In my head, I keep going back to the Niners for some reason.
You know what? They're there, but they're not 100% because Garoppolo, he He's good, but he's not quite there. They got this kid now, but Trey Lance from North Dakota.
Yeah.
Same college that Carson Wentz went to. But he's got a couple years. Give them a couple years. Give them another 2 or 3 years with that kid, and you still got Kittle still going to be playing well, and everybody else, Debo Samuel and all of them. They'll be good. But
I mean, there aren't many options in the NFC, right? The NFC East is a disaster.
As Giants fans, we're aware of this.
Yes, we are well aware of that. The fact that 8 and 9 is actually going to win the NFC East this year. So
yeah,
the South is basically Tampa's for the taking without Drew Brees around.
Drew Brees is gone, so is Tampa.
The North is the North. I mean, it's basically the Packers for the taking.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? The West is competitive, though. I think that Seattle's going to finally peak out a little bit again. I mean, not that they didn't last year. Of course they did. But Arizona's got a good team. And what's his face is out there now too.
The Rams.
No, J.J. Watt is on he's on the Cardinals now. Granted, he's 130, but he's still on the Cardinals now.
Still an impact player.
Exactly. So. But in any event, there we go. Okay, so you're going with the Chiefs and an I don't know.
I'm gonna go Niners. Like I said, my head,
Chiefs Niners. So a repeat of the Super Bowl the year before.
Correct.
Yeah. Rooting for the Niners. Fuck
it. So you have no faith in the Eagles?
One of my best friends is a Chiefs fan, so I got to go against him.
There you go. Yeah, you just have to go against them.
Yeah, screw them.
Just have to, right?
And my gut in the AFC, I would love to say the Bills because they're just fun to watch, but I think the Chiefs are still a far superior team.
I think that's going to be your championship game again, depending on how the seeding goes. Obviously,
right?
It might not be, but if it is,
because the Jets will be there.
But it's going to be a fun year. It's going to be a fun year. We'll say training camps open this week, so it should be good. Dave, you want to weigh in?
No. This is a beer podcast.
Well, you're the only one that didn't, so I figured it might as well wind it up with you.
As far as football, no.
Jags Lions.
It's really, really hard. Yeah, there we go. It's going to be it's going to be Jets Giants. It's going to be a New York thing. No.
Oh yeah.
I really do think that
in that golf tournament in February you're talking about,
yes.
Right? Yeah, right.
It's hard to bet against Brady. It really is.
I watched a video the other day, and we'll stop the sports after this. But I watched a video the other day. It was there was a the machines. You saw it?
That was awesome.
Unbelievable. It was the machine that throws the footballs. With the 2 wheels that spin or whatever. He stood 20 yards away from it and threw it into it, and then it popped it back out to him. Threw it a second time, popped it back out. He backed up 10 yards, threw from 30 yards, hit it again, and it fell over and shot it up in the air.
Are you guys ready for me to burst your bubble?
Go ahead.
It was fake.
It was fake?
Yeah.
How was it?
It was just CGI.
It was CGI?
Yeah.
They made that fake?
Yeah.
It didn't look fake to me.
It didn't look fake to me either at first, but it was faked.
Don't care.
Faked or not, I didn't watch the video.
I got to be honest with you.
It's hard to bet against Brady.
Let's put it this way. I believe you that it was faked, but it's completely believable that he did that.
If I'm picking a quarterback to attempt to do that, it's probably him.
Right.
Or maybe like John Elway in his prime.
Breeze,
sure.
His accuracy.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway,
all right. Brady let's get back to drop a catch one time. I don't know how much I trust him.
Yeah, well, that's true too. All right, let's get back to some beer. On that note, I just wanted to do that for Justin because we talked about that a little bit. I figured I'd give him a few minutes of little sports action there.
I appreciate that.
Anytime. All right, so let's do our top threes.
Cool.
Why don't we do our top threes?
Oh yeah, let's do the top threes.
Why don't we do the top threes? All right, ladies and gentlemen, this week's top 3 list is, as you know, the top threes, and I'll say this: we say it most of the time. Why do we do top 3 lists? Because top 10 lists would take too long because we each do our own individual ones.
Mm-hmm.
In any event, and we pick 3 because we pay homage to, we call it the 33s. We pay homage to 1933, repeal prohibition. So we top 3 list. So there you go. This week's top 3 list is top 3 breweries not available in New Jersey that we wish were available in New Jersey. There we go. So
since we have a distributor on the show,
hint,
Justin.
Hint, Justin, get on that. Get on
Fair
that.
enough. Notes.
All right.
I'm taking notes.
Take notes. There you go. All right, who should we start with, Samurai? What do you think?
I think we should start with Dan.
I think we should start with Dan. I agree with
Me?
that. Throw Dan on the spot right there.
Because I'm very interested to know from a brewery owner.
Breweries, yeah, exactly.
What does he want to bring? What would he like to see in here to compete against him and his shelf space?
A lot of my favorite breweries are to distribute in New Jersey, which is amazing. Which has only been a thing. Some of it from a COVID, some of it just prior to COVID.
Sure.
But there's always the whales, right? If I could walk in a store and buy myself a Cantillon, that'd be pretty all right.
There you
There's
go. There you
the
go. Now
ultimate
you're
whale
talking.
right there. There you
We
go.
didn't even talking about a whale. I mean, you went right up there.
And it's funny because
You didn't
Cantillon used to be in the state.
You didn't even build up to it. You just went right to it.
Yeah, no, that's what I want.
I used to be able to walk into the liquor store in Boonton, and there'd be like 5-6 offerings, and then it just all dried up.
Dried up. It was gone.
So Dan, that's CA. Just kidding.
And where are they from?
Wouldn't that be a coup if you bring that in? Liquid Runner, Cantillon, distributed in New Jersey by Liquid Runner Craft Beverage Distributor.
Yeah. I don't know. It'd be cool to get a Hill Farmstead or a Russian River, right?
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, they're other, highly rated. Can't get them here. You can get them sometimes across the river, but not really here. So that'd be cool to walk in and not even anything crazy, just to see a regular ass Pliny on the shelf would be cool.
Is that a new style? Regular ass Pliny?
Yeah.
Is that
That's their Pliny.
is that the younger or the elder? It's regular ass Pliny.
They
One
make
of my-
that. I'm suing.
Yeah, right. There you go. Copyright that right
one of
now.
my favorite memories going to the West Coast. One of my favorite memories going to the West Coast for the first time was just walking into random shops and seeing Pliny just regularly available for $4 a bottle or something insanely cheap.
Stupid. Yeah.
And
Stupid.
blind pig right next to it.
Yeah.
So, all right, Justin, go for it.
So my list is going to be a little bit different because I like to. Two of the three will be a little different. I like to drink my friends' beers, especially when they make good beers. And I have two friends that are in the process of opening breweries right now that I'd love to see in the state one day. One was just announced a few weeks ago. It's called Return Brewing. Those are three buddies of mine, Mikey, Jack, and JD from Six Point. Recently left Six Point, and they're doing something up in the Hudson Valley. And then my buddy Nick from Carton left shortly after me to open his own brewery right across the border into New York in Goshen, Orange County Brewing. So they're further ahead than Return, and they should be ready to go sooner rather than later. I would say much sooner rather than later.
Cool.
And then my third one is a bit of a legacy brand that's only available in one state, unless it's bootlegged out into Illinois. But I love basically everything they do when I'm out there. New Glarus.
There you
I
go.
knew you were going to say New Glarus the second you said one state.
There you go.
It's
And then when you said Illinois, I'm like, there it is.
it's amazing how much of their beer in particular is imbibed in Wisconsin alone.
Nice.
It's insane. Yeah.
I've actually drank a New Glarus on the show before. So it was a strawberry rhurbarb, I believe I had. Right on
Yeah, I
the
think it was.
I used to sell industrial supplies before the brewery thing, and we were based out of Minnesota. The company was based out of Minnesota, and right on the Mississippi. So I would get a ride or an Uber or something into Wisconsin, go to a bar, and buy those beer towers of Spotted Cow, and just sit.
Oh
there
my God! A beer tower.
of Spotted Cow.
I actually think I have pictures of them on my phone from the last time I was out there.
That is living your best life right there.
Right there.
Sit
Absolutely.
there and drink a beer tower.
That's great.
I mock beer towers all the time, but you fill it full of Spotted Cow.
Yeah, don't care.
Because in Jersey they don't fill them full. no, that's usually crap beer in those things.
Yeah,
not crap beer.
One time I went at 60 Minute in a tower in New Jersey, but yeah,
I've seen 60 Minute in a tower before.
Like,
I would never do it only because I'm not gonna. It's gonna be warm. It's gonna be piss warm by the time I get to the bottom of it. So and nobody's doing it with me. So
if I did it with you, it would be gone. And
yeah,
well, yeah.
I think,
but I'd get a pint out of the damn tower with you doing it with me. So
maybe.
So
it was me and like the last time I went, it was me and I talked this one girl, this other guy into coming with me. That we're also they're out there for like corporate meetings or whatever.
Right.
And we all took an Uber over to Wisconsin and ordered a beer tower. And I'm just housing these things. They're like, the fuck is wrong with you? I was like, I'm opening a brewery in like a month. So,
so Justin, GLARUS.
And a new before it. New
before. But I'm sure he knows how to spell new.
Yeah, GLARUS. Yeah, exactly.
NEU. No.
NEU, yeah.
I would love to see that in New Jersey, man. Make it happen. Figure it out.
Yeah, figure that one out.
All right.
Johnny, you're up.
No, you're up.
No, because I got to play off yours.
All right, you got to play off mine. All right, so fine. All right, well, I'm going to start off. First of all, I'm going to start off by saying that in the last month and a couple months or whatever, two of the ones that I would have said that I wanted on this list actually made it into New Jersey, almost like you said, Dan. Great Notion would have been at the top of my list, but Kane Distributing, Kane opened a distributorship, obviously, and they just brought one in or whatever, and they're bringing in Great Notion from Oregon, and it's pretty cool that they're here now, so that's awesome. And I would have said Modest too. Modest is a great brewery out of Minneapolis. Mm-hmm. And I love the beer they're brewing. Been to the brewery up in Minneapolis, and it's a cool space, and the beer is really, really good. But they're in Jersey now too. They've been brought in, so those two can't be on the list because they're already here, right?
Yep.
And so I'll start off with my number 3 is Eagle Park, and that's pretty much why I'm wearing the shirt right here. It's in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Max. Borgart is the owner. Good guy. Great brewery, great space. Small little space. Was actually their second space in Milwaukee. They opened just before the pandemic. They have actually opened a little bit further, maybe 15, 20 minutes west of Milwaukee. They opened up another brewery, bigger brewery, and they're distilling there too now. They've won a couple of awards with some of their spirits. But the beer is really, really something special, and that would be cool to have them here in Jersey. It's number 3. You write that down? Eagle Park.
I got that one.
It's written right on the shirt.
Yeah,
and I can also watch this whenever to my heart's content. When
take a screenshot.
There you go. There you go. Number 2, Martin House in Fort Worth. They brew great beer down in Dallas, Fort Worth.
Tony spoke about him when he was on the show last week.
Tony spoke about him. Rick Alley spoke about him when he was on the show. I'm pretty sure that Steve did as well.
Yeah.
But yeah,
they're the ones. They really kind of push the boundary of beer.
They do.
They were the Squid Ink menthol beer.
The Squid Ink menthol beer they brewed. Yes. And that's not, by the way, that's not the reason I want them in Jersey.
No.
Right?
But we'd try it.
I would definitely try it, absolutely. But in any event, no, they really do a lot of good beer, and they'd be cool to have them in Jersey as well. And my number 1, and Dan kind of stole my thunder with it.
He did.
Absolutely. Russian River. I want just you know what? It pops up in New York from time to time. It's always in Philly and Eastern Pennsylvania. Just bring it to Jersey. Seriously.
Please.
I mean, a truck obviously is coming in to drop it off at a distributor in Eastern Pennsylvania. Just go over the bridge. Just and just like drive up Route 70 and stop in Tom's River and drop it off at a that distributor there in Tom's River.
And the thing is, it's free to come across the bridge.
Yeah, really. When you going into Jersey is free.
If you want to escape New Jersey, you got to pay, of course.
Right, exactly. But.
A lot of those PA distributors though are out like Allentown area. It's still like a solid 2 hours from Justin.
Sure.
Not exactly close.
Is it actually available in Eastern PA all the time? Because I go when I'm out in that direction, I'll pop across and go to Trenton Road, and there's another store that's right there. And unless I'm just blind, which I am.
No, but it's in Philly and right around Philly.
Okay.
That's it.
There's,
It's just
what I
in
thought,
Philly
yeah.
and right around Philly. Yeah.
There's a shop in Bethlehem. It's one of the few shops that was grandfathered out of the case laws, and I know for a fact they carry Russian River.
Yeah.
You want to hear something funny?
No,
Sure. Always.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I was there today.
You were in Bethlehem?
At Russian River?
Today.
And the name,
Russian
and the name
River.
of that place?
I didn't get to go there.
Oh, you didn't get to go there because
You
I'm,
were in
I'm
Bethlehem.
blocking out. I was hoping you were going to help me there.
I wish. A lot of stuff was closed. It was weird.
It's Monday.
Really?
It's Monday.
Yeah.
Oh, it is Monday. Yeah.
It's
No,
Monday.
it's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, you were there today. I'm sorry.
I was there today. We were at Dorney Park yesterday.
Mhm.
We stayed over and we drove to Bethlehem and got some ramen, and I drove straight to work to do a podcast.
So it's
There
called
you go. And we appreciate it.
it's called Abe's.
Abe's.
Yeah.
Yes, Abe's. That's right.
Yes,
You're right. You're right. Yeah,
And
it's down the block. It's down the block from Fegley's, isn't it?
Well, down the block and then kind of up
It's
a little
down the
bit.
block and around a little bit. Yeah.
There's also a place there. It was an old bank that is a gastropub that carries a lot of the local craft there, and I recommend it. If I could remember the name of it, that'd be helpful.
Drove by that too, and I didn't know what it was, and I saw like a brewery sign in the window. I was like, oh, they have a brewery location here, and I looked it up, and I was like, oh, that's just a bar.
And that's not just a bar. That's a cool place,
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
got to remember the name of it. But at any rate.
So, all right,
Those are
Samurai,
your
you're up.
three. So when I originally picked my three, they're all kind of in the same region, and then I realized John's accidentally was more regional. He had three different regions, so I decided to go with three different regions. I'm going to go with so I'll start off with my number three, and that'll be Angry Chair out of Tampa.
Sure.
Okay, so we want to talk about we talked about lactose a little before the show. Pastry stouts, these guys are the kings of pastry stout in Florida. What's weird about Florida is like it's subtropical. Some would argue it's tropical. But the big jam down there is actually the bigger, badder stouts. They just compete over stouts. Which makes really no sense, but man, they put out some great stouts. And Angry Chair, they will definitely challenge you with some of their stouts, especially if you're diabetic. I tell you that. There's some really, some really sweet stouts, but oh man, but they're delicious. So that's from Florida. Now, and Justin, you brought up one earlier because I was thinking up in living in Rhode Island for a while. A Tilted Barn was one that I'd love to see come into the state. They make some fantastic stuff. However, when I start thinking about New England, there's very few breweries that can nail stouts, IPAs, and sours, and that is Trillium. All right. If Trillium could get into this state, they'd make a killing. They're just a fantastic brewery. So that's my number two.
I don't think they're hurting, bud.
No. They're not hurting for much.
Actually, technically, they're my number one because the next one is my number two, going out of kind of order here. So I went up into the Pacific Northwest a little bit, and originally was thinking Midnight Sun, getting them in out of Alaska. And they make some great stuff. But then I realized I've had a few of them. Would love to see Ninkasi make it here. They made it here as part of the Beer Camp series from Sierra Nevada. And
that was the only time.
And it was like a coffee stout.
It's a coffee latte stout kind of thing.
Yeah, the double latte.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic. And every beer I've had from them is just absolutely amazing. Because like John, there's a few others that I would love to see in the state, but COVID brought them in. Like, Aslan made it in. Cumberland made it in. There's so many others that kind of
Lone Pine in Maine, I would have loved to have seen in, and they came in. They came in before the pandemic, though. They actually got down here before the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a few that a year ago, if we'd run this top threes, it would have been different.
Sure.
But some of them are here now.
Other half's here now.
Other half
is in Jersey now too. And I'll throw one more at you, just as a bonus kind of thing. And I think we can all agree on this. I love Trillium, don't get me wrong. I love Treehouse, don't get me wrong. My favorite brewery in Massachusetts is Night Shift.
Okay.
I'd love to see Night Shift in Jersey. And I know there's been talk from a lot of people. Oh, they're coming. Yeah, they're going to get here. Yeah, but they'll be here. Haven't come yet. So I know have they made it to New York? I mean, I've heard.
Yes,
I think they have.
You got to remember living in.
Yes, they may not be in New York City, but they're
state.
in
They're in the state. Yeah. So and
because remember living in Pawtucket the way I did, there was a brewery there, but also housed a lot of other breweries. Mm-hmm. It was Night Shift's Rhode Island tap room.
Yeah, exactly. And they're so spot on with a lot of the stuff they do, and they do so many other styles too. And not to take anything away from Trillium by any means, Bob, obviously, but they're spot on with their stouts, they're spot on with their IPAs, their sours, but they do so many other styles. You name the style, they've done it, and they've done it well. So but they're definitely one of my
so many breweries in Massachusetts I'd love to see in here, like what Vitamin C, Widowmaker.
Sure, absolutely, anything.
Right.
So how about this? God. We'd love to see even more beer in Jersey. We can just pretty much sum it up by saying that. How's that?
Oh, and if we want to get to Connecticut, there's Fox Farm.
Sure.
Fox Farm is awesome. I was thinking another one in Minnesota, Wild Minds. It's really good.
Wild Minds is good.
Yeah.
Indeed's pretty decent too, and Indeed has a tap room in Milwaukee as well.
I'll go back to Connecticut for Counterweight. Show Counterweight some love.
Counterweight's good.
Yeah, and another one that would have been on the list have they not just recently show up in Jersey, Fat Orange Cat.
Fat Orange Cat is in Jersey, yeah.
Cool.
So there you go. Cool.
And OEC's in Jersey, just not the sours. I haven't seen the sours there yet.
I wouldn't mind seeing these guys in Jersey too. So, and it's Sand City.
Sand City, yeah.
Sand City, and they're cool guys too. They're good.
I'm like blind and deaf.
They're good guys. Anyway, all right, Justin. What's some future plans? Obviously, other than continuing to build your portfolio with great beer and get it into the right places in front of the right people.
And who are you working on for 14?
I don't. I've jinxed myself in the past by saying this, so we're going to keep that on the down low.
Fair enough.
But it's growing the team, growing the accounts, building out the state, and navigating the ever-changing craft beer landscape, both within the state and what you can do. If you had said that breweries could do home deliveries or that breweries could ship beer out of state, not even a year and a half ago, how quickly things have changed, especially with COVID. It's just navigating the landscape and growing our business in a smart and effective way.
Yeah.
But yeah, growth is the key, but smart growth for sure.
Awesome. Yes. Awesome. Same question for Dan. Future plans.
Let's see. What was the question?
What's on the horizon for Chimney?
We've already done so many insane things that I did not think we were going to be doing as fast as we did them. We tripled our capacity during COVID. I mentioned it earlier. We have numbers we have to hit with canning runs and stuff like that to make things cost effective and put things at a certain price point. We've already expanded our ability to make more beer than I ever thought I'd make in the space we're in. Right now, I think our plan is to just make the best beer we can and sell it. I don't really have any plans beyond that. There's always things in my head, but they have to make financial sense too. I still have to I have to make beer, but I have to run a business too. So right now I'm still kind of catching up to where we've grown way faster than I thought is what I'm getting at.
That's awesome.
Not necessarily for the right reasons. We had a pandemic that we had to figure out.
Sure.
But we're still kind of growing into our role there, I think. So I think it would be anything that I said that I think in my head right now would not necessarily be true when the time came. Because things just are constantly changing. So not like Justin, I don't want to jinx myself either. I don't really know where it's going to take me, but I have ideas, I have plans.
Cool.
But none of them are set. So,
how about some short range stuff? Any cool beers coming up on the horizon?
Put it this way. What's in your fermenters now that you haven't done before?
I have a fresh saison that I used the new grain in. It's a Breeze is making it. It's called Synergy Malt. It's like a huskless malt. So the husks, even in like a Pilsner malt, do add a little bit of bitterness.
Yeah.
And this comes with none of that. So I made a Saison with that and some raw wheat. And I'm really interested to see how that turns out. I'm hoping it's like almost like chewing on a piece of malty, with all that nice Belgian esters that you get in a Saison. I'm really excited for that. I have
Talking about movies.
Yeah, we have an IPA that we're brewing for a few restaurants that Justin is close with. Moby's Revenge. It's their exclusive beer. They buy it faster than I can make it.
There you go.
Which is awesome.
And I have to tell you, I just had one yesterday because I was at Moby's yesterday.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
They're we're really excited for that. They're doing really well for us. We're just kind of figuring out our what's working for us, what's not. I'm really into sour beers and barrel aged beers and stuff like that. So we might have some bottle releases coming up soon that
Nice.
Short term, just new cool beers. Long term, who knows?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Justin, any other words on Liquid Runner? For anybody out there listening that might be in the ballpark or a distributor in Jersey.
If there's anybody out there looking for representation, like I said, we're not looking to pile on the brands, but we're always happy to have conversations to see what fits, and maybe it fits now, maybe it fits in a year, maybe it fits in 2 years, maybe it doesn't fit at all.
If they fit for you and if you fit for them.
Exactly. And if there are bars, restaurants, stores, if anybody's watching, you want to reach out to us, check us out, liquidrunner.com. Our brands are on there. My email's on there. My cell phone number might be on there as well. I'm not even sure, but there's certainly ways to get to me from that website, and let us know what you're looking for, and we'll have a conversation, and we'll get you some beer.
Awesome. That's great. Well, you know what? You've definitely put laid the groundwork for it out there. I mean, the beer you are repping right now, from ones I've had that we didn't have on the show, plus the ones that I've had on the show, obviously tonight, are delicious.
Thank you.
Definitely repping them well as well, and getting your model, like you said, getting the beer in front of the right people at the right time at the right in the right places is really cool and refreshing, like I said before. So
Appreciate that.
Awesome. Yeah. So anybody, reach out to Justin if you're listening to this. Reach out to us too if you want some contact info. We'll get it for you if you want to just go that route as well. So on that note, guys, stay where you are. We'll end the show here for today. We'll talk afterwards. So just hang out 1 second. Don't sign off. We'll wrap up the show for today. We want to thank everybody for watching, and for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thanks for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.lagerroom.com. That's LAGERROOM.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and, of course, our YouTube channel. All of them are at The Lager Room. Remember, we go live with the video podcast on both Facebook and YouTube every Tuesday night at 6:30. And for those of you that just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, and Google Podcasts. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds, and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. Awesome
Thank
show.
you for having us. Yeah.
Great show tonight. Awesome.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
No, thank you. Dan, good luck to you and Chimney Rustic Ales. Justin, awesome.
Definitely need to get down there.
Yeah, we definitely will.
Slam beers.
Definitely. And Justin.
I'm a bit of a bad influence, so.
Well, just wait till Dave and I get down there.
Yeah, you have no idea. I have had so many wives of friends demand that they're not allowed to drink with me anymore.
He said so many friends of wives that never mind. No, just
yeah, there's that too.
I've definitely had people say, "Hey, how late are you going to be at the brewery?" Don't worry about it. We'll be here.
So, but in any event, yeah, we'll definitely do that, and Justin will come down too. But Justin, awesome. Thank you so much for coming on too. Awesome job with Liquid Runner. I hope it takes off for you. We want you to come back on, not too long in the future, and give us an update on what's going on too with it.
We'll do. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Cheers,
Definitely.
everybody. Yeah.
You got it. Everybody, have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend. Drink a lot of beer, but drink responsibly, and we will talk to you all soon. Take care, guys.
Drink
Cheers.
local.
Yes, drink local.
Face down in his waffles, maple syrup dripping from his fake robe. did he see when he heard who was there? Now it seems that he's shit out of luck. This little penny that you market